Welcome to Furniture Redesign by MBM. Hey everyone, I'm standing in my backyard and you're looking at the project we'll be working on today, this queen size bed. Now this is a rustic or farmhouse bed, but we're going to change it to something more boho. It's a commission piece and it is to match a dresser and a tall boy that I did back in December. My plan is to paint the metal insert to copper to match the hardware on the other two pieces. I'll leave a link to those tutorials in the description box below. Also, this is a softer wood. This is a knotty pine, and you could see a lot of the prints and hear the rails over here, and it's in desperate need of cleaning. Now, I did try to scrape some of the lint off the rails on one, but the other, I have to soak it and scrape it. So I'm not going to waste much time. I want to first take this metal bracket off the top of the bed. And I'm going to do the cleaning of this piece off camera. Because I know you guys have seen the cleaning process 100 times, I'm not going to prolong the time. I'm going to get mine cleaned off camera, shorten my video a little bit, and we'll come back for the next step. I am back and my bed is clean. It has been washed and rinsed down. Now, the first thing I want to do before I start to paint is take this rail off the top of the bed. Now, looking at my bed, I want to go ahead and do a scuff sand on the entire front and back side of my bed. I also want to start with an 80 grit sandpaper, and I want to do the caps at the top of the bed. I want to sand them down to the bare wood. Now, while I was scuff sanding, I found a signature and a date, 1996. So I can't make out the signature, but I'm not gonna cover it up. I'm gonna take a piece of painter's tape, put over it, and I just wanna save that signature. Now let's finish sanding these caps, and I'll also sand the feet, and then I'll change my sandpaper to a 220 grit and scuff sand the body. Now it's time for paint. I'm using Beyond Paint in the Pebble color. Now I have used this paint before, so it's really easy. I don't have to prime. I shouldn't have to scuff or anything like that, but I like to go ahead and scuff sand just for that extra protection. I'm making sure that my paint is stirred really well before we start. So I want to start on the back side of my bed. I know I shouldn't have to paint the back side, but I really want mine to have a finished look. So I'm going to start on the back. I have my foil lined tray. My paint is stirred really well, and I'm just going to add some here and to my foil lined tray. I have my short handle angle brush, and I'll be using this today, and this I'll use to just tap and push that paint into the corners. I have my nap roller Once I tap it on, I'll smooth the paint out with my nap roller. So let's get started painting. Now with Beyond Paint, because it's so thick and a little bit goes a long way, you should take your brush and tap it into the corners and then take the roller to smooth it out. Now this is per the instructions. Now, because of the knots are so pronounced and there is a little roughness to it as I'm painting, what I'm going to do is take my wood filler once the paint dries, add wood filler, sand it back, and paint it a second time. Now I just want to go ahead and do a scuff sand on my bed rails. Not forgetting to take my damp cloth and remove all the dust from the rails before painting. Now I did find a few dents in the bed rail. Of course, this is a knotty pine, so I do have a lot of knots, but there's not much I can do about that. But let's just take my wood filler, my Elmer's wood filler here, and I am just going to fill in some of these little dents that's in the wood. It's been about an hour and I'm taking a 220 grit sanding block and I just want to sand down the filler smooth. Not forgetting to wipe it down before I apply my first coat of paint. Again, I'm going to let this first coat of paint dry, sand in between, add a second coat, and I'm going to do it off camera and we'll come back for the next step. Now I'm ready to tackle the front side of my bed. I did it in reverse, so the back side of the bed has 2 coats of paint, and now I'm ready to paint the front. Now I will be adding the cane in the panels, and this is why I saved the front for last. To make the bed match the other pieces, I won't be painting the dental molding here in the middle, and I won't be painting the caps. I will be putting a top coat on them. So I have sanded them, and I still have a little bit more sanding to do, and I'll be doing it by hand. But I could do that once I'm done with the painting, and I'll be able to lay the table flat. So let's go ahead and get a coat of paint on this piece. Now, of course, you should tape off the edges that you don't want to get paint, like the dental molding and the cap. But I do have my short handle angle brush, and I'm going to be very careful not to get any paint on it. So if you're a beginner or just want to try painting furniture on your own, Beyond Paint is a great paint. It saves you many steps. You don't have to prime and you don't have to add a top coat. However, I would still scuff sand. For me, scuff sanding just gives me that extra layer of protection, knowing that my paint will have something to adhere to. Now this is the foot of the bed, and I'm going to be painting it also and putting that cane in the middle. So the feet of it, they're round, and I also sanded those. I still have a little sanding to do on that as well. So let's just get this first coat of paint on. I'm going to let it dry for the 2 hours. Then I'll go ahead and get a second coat of paint on, and we'll come back for the next step. And yes, I have my first coat of paint on. Yes, it looks a little blotchy, but that's okay. I'm gonna come back and do a second coat off camera. Now it's getting a little chilly outside, so I may do it this evening or I'll come and do it in the morning and we'll come back. So I'll see you when I'm done with that second coat of paint. I am back and I'm ready to add my second coat of paint to the headboard. I have it stretched out here on the table, but before I added it, I wasn't happy with some of the seams that were here, and in the corners there were gaps. So I decided to pull out my wood filler, and I went ahead and filled all of those areas. I also filled any spots here where the knotty pine kind of had the knots sticking up. I sanded them down and I added a little wood filler to that portion of the headboard as well. I did do the same thing on the footboard, which is over here. I haven't sanded it yet, but I will be doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my second coat of paint on these two pieces, and we'll come back and put the grass in the middle. See you in a bit. I am back and it's been about an hour. My paint is dry to the touch, but rather than wasting time, I decided to go ahead and do polyurethane on the feet. I have sanded my feet down, also sanded the top post of the bed, and I wanted to add this wipe-on poly. I'm going to use this lint-free cloth Do it to the feet and also to the top of the bed. Not forgetting to add that coat of polyurethane on top of the dental molding. Heading for the finish line. Everything is dry and now we're ready to apply this beach mat cane to the footboard and the headboard. Once I have it open, I want to take my mat and I want to cut away the binding from the edge of the mat. I roll my mat back and I'll take my Gorilla wood glue and add it to the panels. I'll then pull my panel back down, pushing the cut edge over to the corners or to the edge as close as possible. I use my hand, flatten out my panel, and then I'll take the shears and cut it down to size. There should be a little overhang, no more than 1/2 inch. Once I have it smoothed out, I then take my shears and I cut the top edge of the panel down to size. I take my fingers and I push it in all the corners, and then around the edge where I left for overhang, I use my fingers and the shears to make the edge straight. Now that that's done, I use the shears and cut away the bottom portion of my mat. I do this to all the panels on the footboard and the headboard, and this is how it turns out. I then take my box cutter with a sharp knife. I place it in the corner and pull down, cutting away any excess cane from my corners. Now, this is a little tough or a little challenging, but with a little patience, you can get it done. Now it's time to work on the metal portion of the headboard. I'm going to use this copper spray paint. I want to spray a light coat of it on. I want it to be an aged copper. This will match the hardware on the dresser and the chest. Now it's time to place the metal piece back on the head of the bed. I needed a little help to hold it in place as I screw the screws in. I'll get all the screws in and we'll be ready for the reveal. Just a reminder of what the bed looked like before. And here's the after. I think my bed turned out really pretty, and I hope my client will love it as much as she loves the other two pieces. Because I used Beyond Paint, I didn't need a top coat, but for the bed rails, I went ahead and added a coat of polyacrylic. And you see why I painted the inside of the bed. Because I painted the foot inside, I had to go ahead and paint the inside or the back side of this piece. And you can see where I left the signature and the date. I added mine also. And here's a closer look at that metal insert. I left some of the black showing so it looks more aged copper. Now I'm going to quickly walk around the bed and give you a full 360. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. How about you? Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? What would you have done differently? So if you're watching and you're not a subscriber, it's time to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell so you will know when I upload new tutorials. Let me say thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you in my next video.